Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Shannon Harris, and I am lead faculty and assistant professor in the Bachelor of Science in Health Information Management program here at UAGC. I will be the host of this session, Reimagining Academic Collaboration, Advancing Team Learning for Transformative Impact in Higher Education. By joining us today, you acknowledge that this session is being recorded and will be shared with TLC related materials. Microphones will be muted for this presentation, but we encourage you to post questions and comments in the chat. Also, we have enabled live transcription. If you would like to use it, click the live transcription button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Now I'm pleased to introduce to you Dr. Shama Grimmage, University faculty at Purdue University Global.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, again, my name is Dr. Shama Grimmage, and I serve as university faculty with Purdue University Global in the School of Multidisciplinary and Professional Studies. Um, right now, I teach communicating professionalism and an unconscious bias course. So, today's session, reimagining academic collaboration, advancing team learning for transformative impact in higher ed, is designed to help us explore how team learning can reshape the way we work together and drive student and institutional success. So, before we begin, I invite you all, I want you to put in the chat. And first of all, let's reflect on your own team experiences. So, what collaboration looks like in your department or institution. So, I want you to go ahead and put that in the chat for me. What does collaboration look like in your institution or your department? And I want you to keep this reflection in mind as we proceed throughout the session. Your team is big on collaboration. We share things often. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Workshoppers and talkers. I like that. I like that. Keep it coming. I'm going to go to the next slide. Maybe you discussed too much. It's okay. So, a little bit of a session overview. Oh, I like that, Jackie. Brainstorm and delegation. I like that. In this session, we are going to explore the critical role of collaboration in higher education. So, collaboration, and I'm pretty sure we all know this, is essential for, again, breaking down those silos that limit our innovation, fostering creativity and shared ownership, and then addressing those complex institutional changes that we see that no single person or department can solve just by themselves alone, right? Um, so our time together will include discussion, reflection, and hands-on planning. So by the end of this session, you will leave with practical strategies to strengthen your collaboration with your own team. And I like interaction with my department chair on things that may be current and upcoming provided changes within the program. That's awesome. Awesome. All right, so let's start with collaboration, well, enhancing collaboration in higher education. So why collaboration matters so deeply. So research consistently shows us that collaboration enhances those student outcomes, that faculty engagement, and organizational adaptability. So when silos exist, and we know it's so easy to be to be in our own silos as we work, this distance learning, working from home, working strictly online. We're not physically in the office. So when those silos exist, progress slows, right? Because everyone is just, we're working by ourselves, not really keeping in mind of the departmental impact or whatnot. So it limits communication, innovation, and then that shared problem solving. So, however, when teams work across disciplines, so both academic and administrative, they can align around a shared vision and create systems that truly serve the student, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about the students. So I want you to think about a time when collaboration led to a breakthrough in your own work. What made that successful? Who wants to put it in the chat for me? Think about a time when collaboration led to a breakthrough in your own work. What made that successful? I'll give you a few minutes to put that in the chat there. I'll repeat that question. Okay. Marie says open dialogue and iteration based on feedback. Okay. Currently sharing co-created projects. All right. Anyone else? We're thinking about a time when collaboration led to a breakthrough. Okay. Respectful conversation. Everyone else, so much better idea. Okay. Learning about other initiatives. When we all had similar issues, we brainstorm and a process. Hmm. Okay. That we all implemented and it worked. Awesome. Okay. You got some feedback from folks and on a project idea way outside your will. Yeah, sometimes that happens, but their input kind of opened the whole thing up for me. So, and that's why collaboration is so important because we get that feedback where maybe improvements are needed and maybe not, but we get the ideas of others. And then sometimes things they may mention things that we may not have even thought of. So, collaboration among faculty and administrators and academic support teams is vital for tackling complex challenges in higher education. So, when these groups work together, they can significantly enhance student outcomes and institutional effectiveness. And then, again, going back to operating in silos, that can hinder that progress as our teams often lack that shared purpose and alignment. So, and then we look at cultivating team learning. So, aligning individual goals with institutional objectives and then fostering trust across those disciplines, which is essential for effective collaboration. All right, so here's our roadmap for today, right? So, as we go through, um, we're gonna have brief reflections and we're gonna share out, uh, in a sense, to what makes this apply, well, makes this application possible. Okay. So first, we're going to define team learning. So and its impact on institutional transformation. So that's understanding principles of team learning and a crucial for fostering is crucial for fostering collaboration and transformation in higher education settings. So we'll explore how these principles can be applied to enhance teamwork. And then identifying barriers. So looking at those barriers, both structural and cultural, that hinder collaboration. And identifying and analyzing both structural and cultural barriers that hinder effective collaboration. So when we recognize these barriers for developing strategies, we overcome them and achieve better teamwork outcomes. And then exploring strategies. So this is to foster shared vision, distribute leadership, and psychological safety. So exploring those actionable strategies that promote a shared vision and facilitate distributed leadership. And then we're going to create our own action plan. So um, we're going to develop and personalize an action plan that outlines steps to introduce or strengthen team learning in our respective areas. And this plan serves as a roadmap for implementing those collaboration practices within our team. All right. So the critical role of team learning in higher education. So team learning is more than just teamwork. It's essential for, again, fostering collaboration and creating problem solving among diverse disciplines. So it drives that innovation that we're looking for, ensures that our institutions respond effectively to evolving needs of students, And then also it enhances alignment and effectiveness across our departments, which results in those higher engagement levels amongst faculty, staff, and administration. So it's a continuous process of reflection, feedback, as you guys stated in the chat, and then that shared growth. But to make it effective, we have to confront those structural and cultural communication barriers. So when I say structural barriers, that is, for example, organizational silos, unclear communication channels, or rigid hierarchies. So those structural barriers to effective collaboration stem from organizational designs that create silos within departments. So this results in unclear roles and responsibilities, right? Making it challenging for team to work cohesively. And I'm pretty sure we've all been there. So rigid hierarchies often stifle innovation and discourage open communication among team members, which can inhibit collaboration. So how many of us have ever been on a team where we don't want to speak? Like we just that environment is not conducive to us sharing our opinions or collaborating with others. All right, and then we have our cultural barriers, such as fear of failure, lack of trust, or limited psychological safety. So those cultural barriers play a significant role um, in hampering our collaboration, as a lack of trust among team members can lead to hesitance in sharing your ideas or taking risks. So fear of failure may prevent individuals or us from contributing fully, right? So we're staying on the sidelines, or we prefer to stay in our silos. And while resistance to change can create an environment that is unwelcoming to new approaches, right? So no one wants to hear any new ideas. They're not receptive to change. And additionally, communication barriers arise from fragmented channels and inconsistent messaging, further complicating collaborative initiatives. So the key is aligning teams around a shared vision and common goals so that collaboration becomes intentional rather than incidental. All right. So do we are we guided by intentionality when we're working in our teams? Are we trying to be intentional? All right, so let's look at core principles of team learning. So there are four core principles that support effective team learning. You have a shared vision and aligned goals. So that's a common understanding of purpose and direction. So, this is crucial for fostering a cohesive team that works towards common objectives, ensuring that all efforts contribute to the institution's mission. And then we have psychological safety. So that's where team members feel safe to speak up, share ideas, and admit mistakes without fear of judgment. Okay. And this allows team members to express their ideas again without that fear of judgment or retaliation. So it's essential for encouraging creativity and risk taking, which leads us to innovative solutions. And then we have distributed leadership. So that's where everyone contributes expertise. Leadership is shared, not centralized. And this involves empowering all team members, everyone, to to innovative and contribute their strengths. So we work off of our strengths. And this approach enhances engagement and fosters a sense of ownership within the team. And then we have reflective practice. So that's when teams regularly pause to analyze what's working and what's not. Okay, so this encourages team members to regularly assess our experiences and learn from them. Okay, so this is a continuous loop of feedback, adaptation, which promotes growth, and then it overall improves that team's effectiveness. So these principles were adapted by from Singe 2006 and Edmondson 2018 from the Foundation for Transformative Collaboration in Higher Education. Yeah, they are all important. Okay. All right, so let's look at practical strategies um, to bring these principles to life, right? So we have collaborative workshops. They engage team members in hands-on activities, and I know someone put in the chat workshoppers, right? So those hands-on activities that promote that shared understanding and problem solving. So these workshops can be tailored to address specific challenges within our institutions, fostering a culture of collaboration and innovation within our department. And then we have cross-functional projects. So that breaks down the silos, bringing us together, bringing your team members together from different departments. And these projects encourage diverse perspectives um, and facilitate problem solving. They lead to more comprehensive solutions that benefit the entire institution. And then we have structured reflection sections. So these provide dedicated time for team members to evaluate their experiences and identify areas of improvement. So these sessions promote open dialogue. I know someone put that in the chat earlier, and help teams learn from both successes and your challenges. And then that peer feedback loop, right? That creates an environment of continuous improvement by allowing us or your team members to give and receive constructive feedback. So this practice enhances communication and builds that trust within your team members, which is essential. And then we have technology enabled platforms. So this facilitates that seamless communication and knowledge sharing among team members. So these tools can enhance collaboration by providing accessible resources, that real time communication, and then again fostering that a connection of that team environment. And then lastly, we have leadership development programs. So those are focused on shared decision making. I know someone put in the chat that they meet with their chair or whomever, right, to speak about things that are going on within their department. So these leadership development programs focus on shared decision making, which empower team members to take initiative and influence outcomes. So these programs foster a culture of collaboration and ensure that all voices are heard in the decision making process. So can we say that we have that type of we have those type of programs within our institution? Maybe some sort of leadership development programs where it is that collaboration is promoted, where all voices are heard in in the decision making process. Okay, someone says, would you say that Teams and Zoom are great examples of technology-enabled platforms? I would like to think so, Jennifer. What would others say? Would you agree with that? Okay, upper echelon of leadership. So I have a plethora of experience with Teams and Zoom, but I'm a meeting type person, so I would sit on Zoom any time of day. But I mean, either one works. Great deal as a team. Yeah. And Teams works well. I've had meetings over Teams, but I'm a Zoom type of person. I'm one to I love to jump on a call. Yes, WebEx is great as well. Yes, I just got familiar with WebEx this year. I'm sitting on different boards, and that's how they have their meetings. So I like those. That's a great idea too. You like to offer multiple ways to engage and collab because not all engagement styles are the same. Yes, absolutely. So not everyone is great, communicating via email or a chat, right? Some people want to actually be in a physical meeting talking. And I know sometimes that works well with students as well. Like, we're remote, we're working online, and you're communicating back and forth with your students via email, and you're like, wait, let's just jump on a Zoom, right? And let's talk. So sometimes that works best as well. But these tools help embed collaboration into the fabric of our institution, not just as a one-time initiative, but as a sustained practice, right? So some institutions are full on Zoom. Um, some institutions are full on Teams, and whatever works for the institution. Okay. Someone says I'm 100%. Our team is 100% remote, so the team chat is great to stay connected. I can ask, can I chat at your face or just type depending on the type of interaction? Okay. So we're gonna go to the next slide. All right, so I just wanted to list a few examples of what successful collaboration looks like. So the first one is an interdisciplinary faculty team successfully improved curriculum alignment across multiple programs, resulting in enhanced learning outcomes for students. So this collaboration fosters shared teaching practices and integrated course content effectively. So how many of us, I know most of us are remote, but how many of us have, we've sat on these meetings for curriculum, right? On how to improve curriculum, maybe a revision for a course. And, that collaboration was shared across team members. Maybe you're in the same school, but you teach different courses. So how do we all contribute in that area across curriculums? So that's interdisciplinary faculty team. Okay. And then we have a cross-departmental administrative team streamline student services, simplifying processes, and improving student satisfaction. So by breaking down silos, the team created a more cohesive experience for students navigating various services. And then we have a multi-campus collaboration, enhanced online learning engagement through shared resources and best practices, and this initiative led to greater accessibility for students and improved course delivery methods across campus. So each case shows that when teams commit to a shared goal and communication, outcomes improve for both students and the institution. So, how many of us can identify with either one of those examples, whether it's interdisciplinary faculty team, cross departmental administrative team, or multi campus collaboration? How many of us can identify with that? Okay, go to the next slide here. All right. So now is your turn. I want you to take about 5 minutes and you can, type away in the chat. Um, okay. So someone says we are remote, but we use emails a great deal. Okay. So I want you guys to take about 5 minutes to reflect individually, right? I want you to think about your current team dynamics. And I want you to identify one or two areas where collaboration could be enhanced. And that could be communication, shared goals, or role clarity. And then note any barriers that may be holding your team back. So I want you to think about that and jot those down and put that in the chat for me. And and then we're going to take a few minutes for volunteers. You can unmute yourself to share insights with the rest of us. Okay, so maybe not 5 minutes. I give you 2 minutes. So think about your current team dynamics. Identify one or two areas where collaboration could be enhanced, and that could be from anything: communication, shared goals, a role, or clarity. And then I want you to think about those barriers that may be holding your team back. And feel free to if that's allowed, Shannon, I don't know, can they unmute themselves and talk?
I believe they can. Yes.
Okay. So feel free to unmute yourself. I'm all ears. Awesome. Thank you. And as you all are sharing, I want to capture some key themes. So if you see any key themes, jot those down. Um, in this exercise, we also often see patterns, right, that guide the rest of our conversation.
I can share.
Okay.
So my name is Tanya Mooney, and I'm a brand new department head. So when I reflect on our dynamics, because we are in the process of creating shared vision and getting our department formed in a learning plan, usually the drawback to collaboration or the areas could be enhanced is really me. From the standpoint, there's always that fine balance as a leader. Am I putting too much on everybody else and does it look like I'm not leading and the ability to make
Hmm.
decisions? Or
Hmm.
am I doing too much? Am I making too many of the decisions on your own? So part of it is just me as an individual being confident because my team, I have to admit, is way more competent than me. They're amazing. So trust in them and let them do what they do and shine. So that will be my barriers, just getting myself out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, and sometimes that could be a little tricky, moving ourselves out of the way, um, to let others, do what they do best, right? So Julie says our team has been working together for over 10 years, so we tend to be set in our ways. So getting people to be open to change, especially with new processes, and not we have been uh doing it this way since. Yeah, that's a common theme, Julie. That because a lot of people are resistant to change, right? So how do we act when we have how do like are we receptive to new people coming in? Because different institutions are hiring every day. So what does that look like? Right? Is that a barrier? New faces, new team members who come in with shared ideas, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Our team warmly accepts new people. We need them. Okay. Okay. Anyone else care to share? All right, role clarity is always something I struggle to keep up with. I do not find balance when I am not clear on what changes I need to make to meet the expectations of my role in the classroom. A simple task will take me a very long time trying to fine tune. One example is using technology when the classroom blocks me. Mm, that's a good one, Jessica. So using technology in the classroom. Well, using it, one example is using technology when the classroom blocks me. Okay. So how many of us have tried to incorporate new technology in our classroom or within our teams and it didn't work? Anyone?
Well, I keep having this issue and
Mm-hmm.
I go to tech support and my classroom is full and they'll ask me to delete things and then it's like I just deleted all of the introductions that I posted of myself in the classroom and they've all vanished. So I'm like, you want me to implement more technology, but the host that hosts us as instructors, like there's no more space for that. So I'm trying to implement technology, but I'm finding these barriers like,
Mm-hmm.
our server can't hold it. So it's a struggle to find that balance of meeting the new expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and technology allowing me to do so.
Okay. So what does that conversation look like with whomever you need to have it with to kind of sit down and talk about this process and streamline that process to make it easier not only for yourself but for other faculty members that may encounter this issue? Like what does that conversation look like as far as collaborating on new ideas
So
to
sadly, my
Mhm.
department chair will send me to technology and then they will send me back to them because nobody actually has an answer. They just help me delete a bunch of old things that will be in a classroom, but it doesn't fix the issue because I run into this issue every class because I'm sharing so much um, GIFs and other types of technology that it's
Mhm.
full. So I don't know if it's just because I've been here since 2009 that it can't hold any more data, but even I mean, I would love to maybe bounce some ideas on ways that I could fix this problem long term rather
Mhm.
than me
Mhm.
sending an email and them emailing me back, reach out to so and so, but that person can't help me either.
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion of, you know, kind of solving the problem. Um, unfortunately, yourself, but also, coming up with a plan or a process or um, some sort of instruction, and then sharing that out with your team to see if it's something that could be adapted by everyone when they run into those issues. So, kind of, developing something new.
Well, that's a great tip. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else care to share? If not, I'll go to the next slide. All right. So now, oop, so someone, before I move on, someone shared in the chat, shared goals. In faculty affairs, we support nearly 2,000 associate faculty development needs. Often we try to identify our biggest need for the group. Okay. However, I'm looking forward to collaborating more with each individual program leader to determine the needs of their faculty. I love it. I love it. All right, so now that you've reflected on your those barriers and whatnot, it's time to start shaping a team learning plan, right? So step one in developing your team learning plan, you want to identify the team goal, and someone just put that in the chat. Identify the team goal that aligns with the broader institutional vision and mission to ensure cohesiveness. So, what do you want to achieve collectively? You want to ask yourself that question. Um, and then assess existing barriers. So you shared your barriers. So the question is what you're asking yourself, what's preventing success right now? Okay. And then selecting an appropriate strategy. So select an appropriate strategy and tools that will facilitate team learning and that collaboration, considering the unique context of your team. So choose one or two tools from your list to test. All right. And then set measurable outcomes. So and reflection checkpoints to evaluate the progress and impact of your team learning, that initiative that you set. So go ahead and define how you'll know collaboration was improved. And I just want you to keep in mind that you want to start small. So incremental changes in communication or shared reflection can have a transformative effect over time, right? So we want to start big and then it ends up not working, then we're back at square one. So incremental changes. All right, so as we wrap up today, these are some key takeaways that I want to provide to you. So team learning enhances both the institutional effectiveness and that student success, right? And then effective collaboration requires trust. It requires that shared vision and reflective practice. And then barriers, it's inevitable. We're going to have them, right? But they can be addressed through intentional. That's the word I'm using this year. We want to be intentional in everything we do. So barriers can be addressed through intentional strategies and a culture that values openness. So every team can take small actionable steps right today. You can actually do that today to begin reimagining how they work together. So collaboration isn't just about efficiency, it's about transformation. All right, and see, these are some key resources and references that I pull from. And then we have Peter Singe, 2006, so the fifth discipline. And this particular book explores the concept of the learning organization. And he emphasized the importance of learning organizations offering insights into how institutions can cultivate culture of continuous learning. And then we have Amy Edmondson, that's from 2018, The Fearless Organization. And that focuses on building psychological safety. And her research on psychological safety highlighted creating a safe environment for team members to encourage open communication. All right, and then we have our last one, which presents a framework for improvement in education that focuses on collaboration among educators and researchers to go ahead and address those challenges in student learning. So these works that I pulled from provide both a theoretical grounding and practical applications for team learning in education and beyond that, actually. So I want to thank all of you for your time and your energy and your engagement today. So I'll leave you with this quote. Collaboration is not the end of learning, it's where transformation begins. I like that quote, by the way. So together, I want us to reimagine how we work and then redefine what's possible in higher ed. So today I want to challenge you all to commit to one new collaborative practice that can advance team learning on your particular campus, whether it's face to face or online. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Grimmage. Are there any other questions or comments? That was such a great session.
I appreciate you all. Thank
Yes,
you.
I have posted a link in the chat to nominate TLC presentations for conference awards and to share your feedback on this particular presentation. And then I hope you guys enjoy the last day of TLC. Thank you so much.